everyone. Top 5 things to do in Esteli if you're visiting Esteli Nicaragua.
If you're planning on coming this way, you're gonna wanna watch this video. We just spent the last few days over there and we have a pretty cool list of things you can do if you're gonna be in the area.
Esteli is super large. It's not just about the city. You should venture out and into the mountains. You'll find Lagardacha, which is, what is the name of the cabañas that you can go visit there?
So Lagardacha is a natural reserve area of Esteli, so it's massive. So when you get to the city and you're gonna explore, expect to drive away from Esteli for about 25 minutes. And Courtney is referring to a place we went to a few days ago called Cueva del Duende, which translates to the cave of the midget, which is a story of someone that used to live there, like a mythical story, you know? But why do you love that spot so much?
That is so funny because I didn't know that's what it meant. So hilarious. But I love it so much because it feels like you're camping in Lake Tahoe. It's super kid friendly. And the viewpoint was like my favorite of all time so far here in Nicaragua, outside of our cabin on the coffee farm. But yeah, it was just so gorgeous and natural, and I really appreciated going.
Yeah, it's very interesting, the terrain you'll find there. A lot of pine, so it kind of feels like you're in Lake Tahoe, California, but in a tropical country. So very wild. They sell food there and some nice cabins you can rent. So Lagardacha is a big natural reserve, and while you're there too, besides checking out the viewpoints, you could also go mushroom hunting.
Yeah, so if you're staying at one of their cabins, you should definitely put an itinerary together, wake up in the morning, go mushroom hunting, and we could put that contact information in our Patreon for you all.
Yeah, Fulvio is the leading mushroom biologist here in Nicaragua, and you want to go with him. He is a pro of everything, and he will take you to all the mushrooms in Nicaragua you can find. So you'll just head into the mountains and spend the day scavenging mushrooms in the fields.
But yeah, it kind of felt like trying to find a leprechaun on St. Patty's Day, you know? It's like exciting, adventurous, it was peaceful. So if you like mushrooms, go mushroom hunting, bring it back to your cabin if you're staying at Lagardacha, make yourself some breakfast before you start the day.
So within that natural reserve there, you have Cueva del Duende, you have mushroom hunting, but you could also go to an amazing waterfall. That waterfall, it's spectacular. I think it's within the same region of Lagardacha. There's also another reserve called Miraflor, and that waterfall is there. And you can drive down. There's a little restaurant that sells beer on the side, but it's in a spectacular waterfall just coming over the mountain, and it has this circular pool where you can go swimming. What did you think about it when we went?
Yeah, so we will post a few photos from our trip back when Elliot was like 6 months old. We took a visit there, and it was so peaceful and just relaxing. And you could actually drive pretty much right almost up to the waterfall.
Yeah.
So you don't even have to walk far. And I need to go back, actually.
Now, within that same Salto Estanzuela region where the waterfall is, you find an incredible farm, which is called Finca El Jalacate. Now, this farm has a super cool story. The gentleman that lives there, he was born on the farm, and at the age of 32, he had a dream that his life purpose was to carve sculptures into rocks. So he spent the last 60 years of his life carving sculptures into rocks. So if you show up, you're gonna see him. He's already older, he has a gray beard, and he'll show you his nail and hammer that he uses to carve the rocks. But more incredibly, he's turned this face of a mountain that he had in his property into this beautiful piece of artwork. It's mind-blowing when you walk there.
So glad we got to go, because walking through the pathway to the lookout point of where all of his carvings are, it was just really beautiful. There was butterflies, and honestly, we could have spent the whole day there.
Yeah, incredible. You can also get coffee. They have a little store. They have a notebook this thick of everyone from around the world that's visited. You had people from Australia, Germany, Italy, London. It was crazy to see how many people come visit this guy here. And it goes back to that saying, make something amazing and people will come, even if it's in the middle of the freaking mountains. And that's exactly what happened to him. He's been so dedicated to that. So do not miss Finca El Jalacate. Now, within the same region around there, there's one more thing that you could do, actually, that we both love. And what is that, Courtney?
Hiking.
You can do hiking. That's true. You can do a lot of
okay,
hiking.
'cause I love
actually.
hiking.
But I was not talking about hiking. What was I talking about?
I mean, eating. I love eating.
Okay, yeah, though actually there's some good yogurt spots
Oh,
there.
yeah.
This farm has some cows and they make natural yogurt there. Best yogurt I've ever had, hands down. We are coffee aficionados ourselves, and if you love coffee, there's a few farms offering tours or actually stays. So during the season, you can go stay, you can experiment with harvesting, processing, and developing your own cup of coffee. And actually they have small hostels at the farm too if you want to meet new people, and that's more common in La Reserva Miraflor. So they'll be on Google, you can write coffee tours Reserva Miraflor, and it will showcase everything you can go from there. So Esteli is just so big. The city is massive, it's hustling, bustling. But when we went, we wanted to step away from the actual city and go around. So it's actually easier if you do have a car to move around in these natural reserves, huh? It's kind of a must, huh?
It's a definite must. Like, and it's so cheap to rent a car in Esteli. So don't feel shy to like pay $25 a day for a car rental.
That's a good point, yeah, because if you go to further north area of Nicaragua, there's smaller cities, it's hard to find car rentals. But because Esteli is such a big city, you can actually find a car rental for the day and then go explore the natural reserves and then bring it back.
Yeah, you can go through a regular dealership, or you could also go through Facebook, because Facebook Marketplace will actually rent their cars too.
Yeah.
So, fun tip.
So far, what do we got? We have Cueva del Duende, we have mushroom hunting, we have El Salto de Estanzuela, and then there was one more coffee farm tours.
And Finca Jalacate.
Yeah, so you notice that we're giving you a lot of stuff that's outdoors, it's nature, and it's off the beaten path. That's kind of what we like to do here. So if you're finding value, make sure to subscribe. Esteli is the cigar capital of Nicaragua. So when you come to Esteli, you're gonna see all the tobacco plantations out in the fields while you're driving in and you're driving out. Actually, one of our friends, her name's Indiana, she is the oldest tobacco family in Esteli, and she offers tours. So if you wanna see how cigars are rolled, how cigars are harvested, how they're smoked, learn about how they're fermented, it's a super cool tour that you should do. So you'll get to see it from point A to point Z. So from the plant to the cigar. Courtney got to experience. Oh, you haven't been yet, huh?
Actually, I didn't get to experience
Yeah,
it.
that was on a trip I did with my group of friends that it's called We Stay Lost, which is a lifestyle brand in Esteli. They came to visit me, and unfortunately, Courtney couldn't join. But if you are going to be in Esteli, do not miss the cigar tours in Esteli. Now, speaking about being within the city, there's actually like two nice coffee shops that we recommend. Which ones would you recommend there?
I'm going to recommend my first favorite, which I've mentioned before in other videos, from San Rafael on the way to Maltagalpa. Its name is Coffee Lovers, and they have a location in Esteli.
And then your second favorite?
My second would be Nicaraguan Selección. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
That was actually my first go-to, but honestly, I think I just will continue to go back to Coffee Lovers because that's my ultimate favorite.
Yeah, Coffee Lovers is nice. It's technically a second location here in Nicaragua. First one's in San Rafael del Norte, Jinotega, which is actually better because it has a nice view onto the coffee mountains. But this one in Esteli feels like you're in a little hub separated from the city. It's like a nestled, quiet, peaceful place. But La Selección, though, offers really good coffee, and you can pick up some cigars while you're there, too. They also do sell cigars, so that's a benefit. If you do not see...
Still like the Coffee Lovers better. Sorry,
yeah,
everyone.
She's very picky about
the paninis are
stuff.
actually the best in the north as well, and their pastries are good, so I'm all about the food and the coffee.
So we're gonna give you a sixth thing you can do while you're in Esteli, and this one's a little bit obvious, so that's why we didn't want to start with this one. But when you're in Esteli or any city in Nicaragua, what's a must that you must do, Courtney, here?
When you're in Esteli and in Nicaragua?
Yeah, just if you arrive at a city,
you always have to go to the center where the park is and check out the church.
Esteli has a beautiful park. It's actually very clean, good for kids. It has a play area. But what's cool about the park, it's what's around the park, which you have street vendors selling fritanga. We also found a nice spot to get some smoothies, some natural smoothies. The cathedral of Esteli is gorgeous also, huh?
Super gorgeous. I think it's called Holy Lady of Rosary, and it's just so gorgeous inside. There's like gold on top of the statues, and you just feel all of it once you're in there.
So definitely worth checking out. A pro tip for going to Esteli, we love to go on Sundays because in Nicaragua, Sundays, everything moves slower. A lot of businesses are closed. So if you're not looking to shop, let's say clothing or get stuff done, then Sundays the streets are going to be a lot more empty, right? So we were just there this past Sunday and we were amazed. We've never seen it that empty before, right?
Yeah, actually I will continue to go back. I've never been able to walk the streets so peacefully in Esteli before, so that was such a plus.
Yeah.
Though on Sundays, all the natural reserves are actually more packed. So something to keep in mind if you're interested in seeing more kids, that's a perfect time to go. But if you're trying to get some peace and quiet at those locations, I'd pick a weekday to go.
That's a good point. So it's like on Sundays, people leave the city and they go up to the natural reserves that I'm telling you. And then on weekdays, everyone's in the city. So pick where you want to be busy at, you know?
Yeah.
I recommend just potentially staying in Lagardacha, Miraflor, or El Estanzuela, and then driving into Esteli if you can, because that way you're out in nature. They also offer horseback riding while you're out there. I forgot to mention that. So being in the center of Esteli can get a little chaotic. So after you check out the church, we recommend checking out the local markets and picking up some fresh fruit on the side of the street, right? We have some delicious watermelon and ocotes, right?
Yeah, so you have to go a little further down from the park to really find the fruit vendors because there is more additional tiendas down that way, and that's where all that fruit is hanging out at.
That's one of the perks. And the perks of fruit is in everywhere in Nicaragua. They come and go with the season. So if you are traveling, don't be scared to try a little bit. You're going to find how delicious they are. And we actually in love with the fruit. Every time we go back to the States, we're like, we miss the fruit from Nicaragua, you know?
Yeah, I've never been sick off of it either, so really don't be scared.
So looking at Esteli as a whole, it can be a big city, hustling and bustling, and it can be a little intimidated if you get plopped in the middle on what to do. There's a lot of artisanal shops you can go look at, restaurants you can try, coffee shops, a lot of stuff to do in the city. But I think where Esteli really shines is when you start to step away from the city and go on the outskirts of the department of Esteli, and you're gonna find an amazing natural reserve in Nicaragua that's incredible.
Yeah, so be sure to come visit. If you have somewhere that you've been that you want to recommend, let us know because I'm also interested in seeing more places in Esteli.
Yep, we give you around 6 to 7 things to do, but honestly, there should be around 15. So we will be doing a part 2 later once we travel more Esteli. We like to give you honest reviews of stuff we actually do so we can speak from experience so you know what to expect.
Yeah, and there's even camping out there in the mountains. I haven't been able to see it just yet, but maybe stay tuned and we can go check it out together.
That's true. Well, hopefully you guys found this insightful. It is your coffee familia from Nicaragua. Where can they find us, Courtney?
They can find us on immensecoffeemovement.com, Patreon, YouTube, and just keep looking out for us because we're going to keep posting.
So we'll post links for everything we talked about below, so that way you can just click there. It is your coffee familia signing off. See you guys in next week's video.